qiphyedu. Today we're looking at Computer Science A2 level, Paper 41, May, June 2021. Alright, before I begin, I would like to point out that this video, along with subsequent videos related to Paper 4 Computer Science, would only be conducted using the Visual Basic Programming Language. Therefore, if you're looking for Computer Science Paper 4 videos that are taught using Java or Python, these videos are not for you. Do try and look up other videos. They're actually quite good videos on Computer Science Paper 4 using Python on other channels. You can search it up on YouTube. But because I take Computer Science with Visual Basic as the default programming language, and this is what I use for every single A-level exam, and plus the fact that there are not many videos online for Visual Basic, therefore the videos that I'm making for Computer Science Paper 4 are primarily aimed at students taking Visual Basic as the default programming language. So I apologize for any inconvenience caused, and let's get into the video. So you look on the first page, you'll see that you'll need the candidate source files and also the evidence.doc. You can search this online. So you can see inside here we have both these files, the evidence.doc and also this one, which is the treasure chest data.txt. Alright, so I'm going to open up the evidence.doc file, and this will take you into Microsoft Word. I have the PS Office, which works as well. I'm going to clear up some code here because this is from a previous scene. I actually used the document before, so I'm going to clean this up a little before I proceed. Okay, so inside this evidence document, you've seen that you need to put in your candidate name, the center number, and also a candidate number in your header. And so by doing so, you have your name, candidate number, and center number on every single page. Alright, so let's move on to the first question inside the paper. First question, it says open document evidence.doc, which we have done. And now let's look at the first question. It says a class declaration can be used to declare a record. A list is an alternative to an array, and then a source file is used to answer question 3, but we're not going to focus on that. This video is primarily only for paper 1. Question 1. So first question, it says an unordered linked list uses a 1D array to store the data, and each item in the linked list is of a record type node with a few data at the few next node. The current contents of the linked list are start pointer 0 and empty list 5. And then it says the following is to code for the record type node, whatever, the things on the bottom, and then write program code to declare the record type node. So I'm just going to open up Visual Basic. You realize that I'm using Linux right now, so in order to run Visual Basic, you need to have Windows. So I have installed Windows 10 in a virtual machine. Right, so it's just going to fire up Visual Studio. And then for Visual Studio, you need to make sure that you have installed the .NET framework. Not .NET framework, but you need to install the .NET components, VB.NET components, in order to be able to create files using the Visual Basic programming language. Right, so no need to wait for this to load. Once you see this page, just scroll down until you find console app.NET framework. Click on that, and then just name the project however you like, as long as you can remember. So I'm just gonna name it as 9618. That's why it's May, June 2021, so it's going to put S21 and then qiphyedu. I'm just going to click on create. It's going to take a while. The RAM that I allocated for this virtual machine is only 4 gigabytes, so it's going to take some time. Stop. Right, everything finished. Yeah, finished loaded. So now you just need to type the record type into our main our module, which is outside the main program. So what we need to do is that instead of type in Visual Studio or in Visual Basic, it's public structure. Let's type public structure, and then public structure, the name is node, Okay, and then we need to declare data next node, so dim data and comma next node. You need to remember that this only works if proof of the data, you haven't defined an actual value for the data, and the variables are the same in order to be able to use it like this. Okay, so we are done with A, so just need to copy and paste this into our document, right? Then I'm gonna unbold it. That okay. B, write program code for the main program. So inside submain, declare 1D over type node with the identifier linked list and initialize it with the data shown in the table on page 2 and declare the pointers. Okay, so I'm gonna declare 1D array with the name of linked list, name linked list bracket, and then in Visual Basic, the first value starts. First index is 0. So if let's say you have 10 values, then the maximum index will be 9, like 0 to 9, or if there's put 9, it'll work just fine. So linked list 9 as node, and then we need to initialize it with the data. So what we do is initialize it one by one. So because you see inside the public structure, there's both of these variables. So what we do is we start with linked list 0 dot data equals, in the backup it says 1, and then here we'll do next node of course 1. Okay, so now we just need to copy and paste this 9 times because there's 10 values. Okay, so alright. And we could change the values on the bottom to this corresponding value. Okay, so we're done with initializing it with the values. Now we need to declare the pointers, so let's declare the start pointer as integer equals 0, and then declare empty list. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay, so now let's move on to copying and pasting this into our local document. So that worked. Okay, this one. The procedure output nodes takes the array, the start pointer as parameters. The procedure outputs the data from the big list by following the next node values and write program code for the procedure output nodes. So then we need to create a new sub using the procedure. So sub output nodes. We need to by well linked list as node by well start pointer. Right. We need to remember that for by-well, whatever value that is modified inside this procedure that is related to by-well linked list or start pointer, it will not change the value back in the main program. Okay, because it's by value instead of by reference. If it's by reference, the value that is inside the procedure will be sent back to the main program and it will change everything. But if you don't, then the value will stay the same. Okay, so here it says that we're going to take the array start pointer and then output the data from the linked list. So what we do here is we just take so we just use a while loop. So while because here the start pointer is pointing to 0, so what we need to do is we can just so what we can do is just do like while start pointer and the start equal to -1. And then what we can do here is we can do a console right line, then I'll link and this start pointer dot data. Okay, and then the start pointer would then be changed to the value inside the next node, so it will be link with or start pointer dot next node. So essentially, it will just output all the data for the linked list until the start pointer equals to -1. When it does, it will stop. Okay, and then so we're done with that, and then let's just copy and paste this into our document. Okay, and then edit the main program to call the procedure. So we'll call the procedure here. So call output nodes on this start pointer. Okay, and then console.readline to get our result. Okay, so let's start program to see if it works. It's gonna take a while. Yes, it does. So let's take a screenshot, press the print screen button, and go back into our document, and then paste it into C2. We'll crop it until it's readable without the magnifying glass. Could be. Right, so now we're done with 1C2. Let's go on to 1D1. Okay, 1D1, the function AddNode takes the linked list and pointers as parameters, then takes as input the data to be added to the end of the linked list. The function adds a node in the next available space, updates the pointers and returns true. There are no empty nodes and returns false, where program code for the function AddNode. Okay, so behind sub, let's add a new function with the line number 38. So function AddNode. I need to remember that. Need to remember that in this case, your array will now have new values, so you need to change the by-well to by-ref. Okay, so by-ref link list as node, and then the start pointer will still remain the same, but then your end pointer will then be modified if, let's say, there's a new node. So by-ref empty list integer. Okay, so function AddNode makes available space. So if first we take the input, so console.writeLine input a value, and then name value as integer equals console.readLine, and then if empty list empty list equals to -1, then return false. Else if make it safe, empty list doesn't equal to 1, then what you do, you add the node in next available space. So that means link list empty list data equals to value, and then you need to modify some values. In this case, so your empty list.data equals to value, and then the previous node has to be modified to connect to this one. So we can just ignore that for a while first. Linked list empty list.data equals to value, and then your empty list will then become linked list empty list dot next node. Okay, and then return true. Okay, so yeah, you realize that on the bottom of the end function there is a green line. If you don't put in like another condition other else, then it will become everything except if let's say empty list equals to -1, right? Other than that, everything will just give you a value for return. So we're done with this. So now it's gonna copy this back into our program, like so. Right, now let's move on to tool and in the main program to call AddNode. Output an appropriate message depending on the result returned from the AddNode. Call output node twice, one before calling AddNode and one after calling AddNode. Right. So call output node, enter, and then now let's call AddNode. So we will then have declared outcome. So dim outcome as boolean equals AddNode link list start pointer empty list, right? And then if outcome equals to false, then also the right line output node is not successfully added due to lack of space else, and so the right line node is successfully added, right? And then call output nodes one more time. Alright, and then copy and paste the entire thing again into our question. Such, Alright, let's move on to the last question, which is to test your program by working 5. Now I'm going to tell you immediately it's not going to work because you didn't modify the last negative 1 from index number 3. So we need to do a little modification to our output nodes by doing this. So here we will do something like if our linked list start pointer dot next node does not equal to -1, then we'll then have to send a value back into our function. So I think what we do here is we just declare another value here, then return as integer, and then byref it inside our output node. So here what we do is we byref return integer, and then return equals linked list. Stop return with exclude. Okay, and then this one we need to modify as well. Okay, then return. Now what we do here, we then need to take the returned into our outcome. So we do here, we should take return and AddNode here by well the integer here what we do is the value we'll do something like link this return dot next node goes to our empty list right before change back like that, and then because we don't want to output the 0, we need to modify the next node of empty list as well. So
for other days kind of that.
So here you see that after we modify empty list equals linked list empty list dot next node, what we do is we'll then switch linked list empty list dot next node into 0. So linked list empty list next node equals to 0. Okay, so sorry, not 0 but -1. So there we declare new value. So previous index. And here we modify the empty list into previous index. Okay, false. qiphyedu. Okay, previous list equals to empty list. This should do the trick. Let's try again. Okay, there you go. So let's have to do a screenshot, set it to our main program, and then we'll add brush shape 1. Make it smaller, and make sure the text is readable. Alright, so that's it for question 1. Alright, so I'll stop the video for now. I hope you guys find this video helpful. Do share this video out to other people who may need help with computer science paper 4, A2 level, and the subsequent videos will be about question 2 and question 3. Reason why I'm separating this video into 3 separate portions is because one video is already going to take up at least half an hour for one question. So to make it much easier for you guys to watch, I'm just gonna separate it into questions rather than papers now. Alright, so I hope to see you guys again in the next video. Till then, this is qiphyedu. Goodbye.